Hey guys, I'm here with Soehrensia lamprochlora. Check it out. Interesting species. Let's turn the camera around. Okay, showing it from the side now. I want to show you its strengths, its basic strengths that it has, and that's the shape of the sepals here. That makes it very useful for breeding. It's also a species that smells very nice, very strong scent. Hard to describe. Maybe citrus, but it's I don't know. It's a very unique smell, very unique scent that I sometimes pick up from other species too. Arboricola has the same scent, and it is fitting that that one is in the same genus. What was the other one that was so strong? Peruvianus. So that one had a strong scent too yesterday or the day after, the day before. But yeah, let's talk about the species a little bit. I want to show you the body. There you can see it. It has a very waxy skin. Looks a little bit like Spachianus, Soehrensia spachiana, and I am sure this one will be identified as it all of the time. Misidentified, obviously. The differences aren't so big on the first look. So you have this kind of waxy skin on lamprochlora and on spachiana. You also have a similar spination, like the swollen spine bases here with the reddish base. Let me see if I can zoom in more. So there's a reddish tone to it. I'm not sure if it translates well into the video, but the base and the lower part of the spines have a reddish color. And yeah, that is something that you also see on authentic Spachiana. Soehrensia spachiana, Trichoceros spachianus or Echinopsis spachiana has the same waxy epidermis, so they must be close. I suspect they must be close, because having this kind of spination and the waxy skin, that is pretty telling in my opinion. And they are kind of similar plants. They are in the same genus now. But with all these plants that have been moved back and forth, that doesn't mean much unless you look really closely into the genetic situation and all. But I suspect this being very close to Spachiana. So this Soehrensia lamprochlora, it has a white flower, white petals, relatively small petals here. Let me show you the flower from the front. There you see it. Yeah, the petals are very short. And the way they open up outwards, going downwards again here, kind of bell-shaped a little bit. I've seen bigger ones. I've seen flowers of this species that had much bigger petals. So what I have here isn't 100% representative of the whole species, because within most species you have a range in regards to flower size and all. This is seed grown. Sometimes cloned plants that have been selected because they have a bigger flower have bigger petals. So there's a lot of pollen. So it's very useful for breeding right now. We will use it probably today. And we will talk about that later. Here's the stigma. I had it under the time-lapse camera overnight, and it looked nice. It looked good, but it, you know, something was missing. The other one that I recently had such a beautiful, widely opening flower, and this one here is a little bit less impressive. So let's have a look at the tube. Yeah, it has reddish, a little bit of reddish glow on some parts of the tube. Here, here. Green scales with hair that comes out from below. The color of the hair is hard to describe. Gray, white, with a little bit of reddish too. Brown up here, even black sometimes. So there's a pretty variable color of the hair. And up here the hair is very long. This could be something like 1.5 centimeters, maybe longer. Down here it's a little bit shorter. Yeah, and this is, I've seen good hybrids with it. I've seen it being used in crosses very often, and it produces good offspring sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. And now I want to show you the spines again. Okay. And I want you to notice how similar the general theme of the spines is to Trichocereus cuscensis, Echinopsis cuscensis, which has similar swollen spine bases, which you see here. You see these little knobs at the base of the spine, these roundish things. That is a swollen spine base, and it has this reddish color, which you see on Echinopsis cuscensis sometimes too. And I have one in the greenhouse, so let's compare it. And check out the spine shape, because that one's very different. And now we will go to Echinopsis cuscensis. Okay. Echinopsis cuscensis. There you see the swollen spine bases. Barely. You don't see it very well because it's deep and covered with fluff. But it's there. Wait, you see it down here? There you see it very well. Sometimes this is reddish. Sometimes it isn't. See there, it goes to brown here. So there's a wide range, especially on the new spine growth. The new spine growth is more reddish. Yeah. But it's a very different kind of spine. You see, when you look at it from the side, it kind of they radiate out in a similar way, but it's still a very different spine. And all that aside, we zoom out. This is a columnar cactus, okay? And Soehrensia lamprochlora is more like candicans. Here's another one. This is how it grows. I got this one from like a classifieds ad for $10. It's one of the best plants I ever had. Huge flowers, and I had to cut it back because it was unstable. But this is a very different kind of plant. You see the spines are very similar to candicans, you know. And by the way, the crooked growth, that's a consistent trait. Okay, we're back. It doesn't show here, the crooked growth, because it's too small. This is just a barely rooted piece, but what will happen here is it will pop. It will start popping from the base, and at some point it will just stop growing upwards, and the side pieces grow from the sides and all. It is a very different kind of body. You can only confuse this with cuscensis when you see it as a small plant. If you see it bigger, this plant will never reach 2 meters. Will not happen, unless it's maybe a hybrid. But that would be so rare. I haven't seen a lot of hybrids with it in a columnar body that would produce a columnar body. It can happen, definitely. Everything can happen with hybrids. But the botanical species, it is covering maybe like 50 centimeters, an area of 50 centimeters or more, and reaches a similar height. It is not a columnar plant. So if you see a plant that is where you are unsure if it is this or cuscensis, if it's growing tall, then it's not lamprochlora. Almost certainly not. I mean, maybe it can, if you look at wild Spachianus, And wild lamprochlora, they get a little bit bigger. They can maybe reach a certain kind of height that is comparable to a weak column maybe in a greenhouse or something like that. I've seen them grow somewhat to human size in a form, but the body, you look at the body and you instantly know it is a different kind of plant. They're growing wide, and that is something that is a consistent trait. You just don't have, and we're not even talking about the flower yet, you know? I mean, check out the hair here. The long tube. This is a very long tube. A little bit longer than Cuscensis tubes. And I say that knowing that the length of the tube can be variable too. So, but if you look at this, that is pretty long. And the hoverflies love it. You see, the flower smells so nice. It has a beautiful scent. I've had it radiating throughout the room inside when I did time-lapse tonight. You will see this in a time-lapse sometime soon. I'm not sure when, but soon. And it was great. It looked good. Not extremely amazing, but it looked great. I liked it. So what I will do now is I will collect a little bit of pollen. I want to leave most of it to the hoverflies because it will be raining again and there's not a lot of pollen around for the insects and all, but a little bit for crosses is all right for us. So I brought a pollen bag and I brought a big one again because I'm still running on a very small budget. So we will just get a little bit, look at the pollen that is coming from this thing. Look at this. Okay, I think that's already enough. I don't need a lot. I don't want to take it and then not use it, you know. So we will leave that for the hoverflies. But I want to pollinate this one with a hybrid called Humcus roro, which is a hybrid between Hilde Winterer hybrid Nolla 2 and Echinopsis hybrid Mutter der Halbgefüllten, which is German for something like mother of the half-filled, and it is referring to the shape of the flowers. I'm not sure if filled is the right word. There's probably a better one that specially refers to the kind of shape that filled flowers, like what we say in German, gefüllt. It's a very unusual kind of flower. And I want to use this one as a father on Humcus roro and Humcus roro on a father here, because both crosses have potential. So we already get a little bit of pollen here for the cross. And then I will take the camera to the other plant. Okay, and on the way back, we get pollen to pollinate this one. Okay, so this is Humcus roro, and I want to show you how it looks like. Super beautiful flower. Almost like Atrocereus. I will never stop saying this. And yeah, here's the body. And the body is interesting because this is not a Hilde Winterer body, or at least not in the classic sense. Here the Echinopsis came through. And I want to show you where I got this plant. This is when I took it over. And then the diameter got thick. This isn't healthy. This isn't a good way to grow plants. But at the time, I mean, it just got better care. So eventually I will cut this thing back. But for now, it's a great plant for breeding. I love it. And I just hate cutting plants that I use for breeding. So I brought a brush. And I want to get some pollen here. And I want to use this on more than one plant today, this pollen. I hope it lasts. I hope it's enough. If not, this one opens later. But yeah, it should be enough. So this one will be our father for Soehrensia lamprochlora. And yeah, here's the pollen that I brought of Soehrensia lamprochlora, and we will pollinate that now. So, okay. This could be a great cross because it would increase the flower size here if it can keep the shape and maybe do something with the sepal shape of lamprochlora, which is good, useful for breeding. It could be great. I like it. So yeah, we pollinated this one now with Soehrensia lamprochlora, and on the way back now we will pollinate the other one. Okay, there it is. I will just do this fast so I do not disturb the hoverflies so often anymore. They need to have a good meal too. So yeah, so now we pollinated these with each other. Later I will probably pollinate it again because this brush is bad. I don't like this brush, but I'm currently low on brushes. But yeah, so the cross here is Soehrensia lamprochlora crossed with Humkes roro, hybrid by Heinrich Humke. Yeah, unfortunately no longer alive, but a very good Hildewinterer breeder. There's so many Hildewinterers with his name, like that have Humkes in the name. If I ever feel like I want to use a name and it's already taken, maybe I will do something similar and it's just add Nolz, sing this and that to it. So we'll see. But a lot of his names have Humke in the name. And if we get seeds, that would be great. I mean, since the Humkes roro has Echinopsis, we at least have a chance. This is Soehrensia now, but it was Echinopsis before. I mean, they are not so distant, honestly. This is the type of plant that it didn't really belong in the big genus Echinopsis, but it wasn't too far away either. So yeah, okay, this is my pollination video of Soehrensia lamprochlora, and I like it. I will keep it, repot it, treat it better in the future. I'm sorry, lamprochlora, for grafting on you. I just had a moment where I saw the flower and was so disappointed because it was so small in comparison to what I've already seen, you know. But the shape is nice, especially here, this part here, that you can utilize that. Imagine something like this on a flying saucer flower. It is very similar to Soehrensia purpureopilosa, I wanted to say. And it might be the same species. Anderson, in his Cactus lexicon, has declared them synonymous. I can't tell you if that's true or not, because you would have to compare them really well. And there isn't a lot of information on purpureopilosa, but there's a good chance. I want to show you one just to finish the video, because I always wondered about that, and I've had discussions with other people, even with like Boris Schlumpberger once, because who knows? I mean, I do not know if this is the same species than purpureopilosa, but they are definitely similar in the crooked growth. They have similar spines and all. This one has longer spines, but you know, there's a range. So let me show you purpureopilosa. So the workstation in here. I'm hiding the flowers from the insects. Okay, this is it, I think. And I'm not sure if this is a hybrid or not. So this could be hybrid, but this is the type of body that I wanted to show you. This crooked kind of grows, and this is a huge plant. You cannot compare little plant to what I have here. But this is the crooked kind of body that you see on lamprochlora too. So it might not be too far off. Oh, and here's a seed-grown one that I found. I got this as a gift on an order. Check out how much it pops from the base already, at the size of maybe 20 centimeters, 15. Okay guys, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. There will be more videos today. It's one of the last flower flushes of the season, so I will make use of it and film a little bit for the channel. Hope you like it. Thank you for being here. Bye.